Ahoy there, landlubbers. It's me, Kevin Smith.
Jason Hughes.
Have you ever wanted to get lost on the high seas with Jay and Silent Bob? Well, you're going to have your chance in the year 2024. Join us for Jay and Silent Bob's Cruise Askew. Live podcasts every night. We got a movies on board. There's a View Askew museum. What else?
Music, dancing, hooting, hollering.
What are you waiting for, man? Jay and Silent Bob, cruiseaskew.com. We will protect you from sharks.
Hit me! Episode 364.
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
You know, nerd culture is mainstream now, so when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
No one listens to the radio. I wasn't even listening. I was listening to podcasts. Podcasts are great. Radio's boring.
Yeah, I bet. Thank you, one and all, tuning in. Brand new edition of the NetHeads. My name is Will. Accidentally bumped something on my screen here, playing something from the Today Show. What the hell? Why not? Welcome, everybody. Brand new edition of NetHeads, the second of 2024. My name is Will. Oh, and there's the full screen Trent. You're improperly sized, sir. You're out of
story of my life.
You're out of tune. You're out of touch.
I mean, and then my right is my left, and then I get confused and I can't finish. It's a whole thing.
There we go. You're a little bit better now. I unmessed it up a little bit. Anyway, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us live on the internet's always. Why? Because we like to overcomplicate our lives. We don't do things simple, right, Trent? We don't do that. Now, we do it so simple I can't even hear you again. What in the bejesus?
Why do it simply when you can do it complicated?
Because, man, we like the adversity. That's why. It's the challenge.
We are a like a gun barrel, and we're not going to be the right hardness until we're blue. You know, we got to get so hot that we're blue.
Oh yeah, man, or like a sword that's been forged and folded the blade like 1,000 times over.
Yeah.
Until we're bright white going down to a gradient orange from frustration. We're just not in it.
I was just on a walk with the dogs and I was listening to a song and it used a common aphorism, but then it finally dawned on me what the aphorism meant. It was strike while the iron's hot.
Oh, hey, that might have something to do with hitting metal with a hammer. I'm just saying.
Exactly. And in my mind, I've always just because in our common vernacular, I'm thinking, like an iron, like what you're pressing or whatever. But then it hit. I'm like, no, you got to strike while the iron that's been in the forge is hot. You got to bang it down. And that's partly because I just listened to Child of God by Cormac McCarthy, who has like a smith in the story. And he goes into a lot of detail about the smithery of it all. But what the hell are we talking about?
We're talking about NetHeads, Trent. Welcome. Okay. Thank you, one and all. It's so nice to be here.
It might be tech from 2 centuries ago, but it's tech.
Yeah, it is. There you go. Thank you very much for joining us. Speaking of technology, Trent, I have to tell you that technology outpaced my brain, and now I'm a little bit embarrassed, okay?
Outpaced your brain? I don't
Well, here's the thing, Trent, look, I'm a man from humble means, so I'm always looking for a bargain. All right.
Who isn't? It's not even if you weren't a man of means, it's fun to find a deal.
It really is, man. Like the Facebook marketplace is scary but exciting.
Oh, I love that. It is the wild, wild west, man. That place is nuts.
Which, by the way, just as Trent promised, I happened to do a search on last episode. I did a search on the turntable, and sure enough, the Audio Technica, whatever.
Boom, all over the place.
Yeah, everywhere. Anyway, I'm a man of humble means. I'm always Unless it comes to buying robots or 3D printers, apparently I'm stingy. So I was look, man, just trying to save money, and I'm thinking, oh well, Trent, tax season is coming. Okay,
Ooh, sneaking up on you.
tax season is coming, and I don't exactly have a simplified income flow. You know what I mean? I'm not 1040 easing this bitch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. You've got to compile your W-2s plus your W-4s. Make sure that you filled out your 1098s plus your
I get my 1099 nits or nets or whatever the hell they are now called.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
dude, it's not a one and done anymore. No one pop and jump.
And look, I also know that sometimes we're going to pay for convenience. I'm well aware of the fact, Trent.
Sure.
That TurboTax, in order to, like, in somehow complying with the law and anti-monopoly laws against Intuit or something, like, I believe the people that make TurboTax even have to provide a free version of the software for people to use.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
I know there are alternate sites out there. Okay, I know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've been using TurboTax for years.
Really?
All right, years. I throw a little bit, I know I'm going to get a refund, so I throw a little of that refund into the tax audit protection. So I'm buying that for myself.
And that in and of itself is tax deductible. The whole everything you spend on your tax.
The next year.
Deductible.
But
yeah, right.
I didn't want to look like a chump on this year's taxes or next year's taxes. Again, saying I paid like $90 or $120 for the home and small business turbo. And by the way, not an ad. Just be clear.
No.
Not an ad.
Yeah, I sit down with Sean over at H&R Block every.
Goddamn right you do, and because sometimes you want a professional, but I'm the guy that drove a Bobcat into the side of a pool because I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna let somebody else do it.
It's true. It's true.
So I didn't want to be a chump saying I paid full price or just got the special discount because while I was looking for something else, I'm on the eBay and I see like this year's tax software, people are already selling it. And I don't want to say pennies on the dollars, but almost 50 cents on the dollar, Trent, for full retail, okay?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's a bargain. So I'm like, you know what? I'll get myself that CD DVD of it. I will order it. It'll be delivered to my home. I'll have physical goddamn media, Trent.
Right in your hands.
Software.
Yeah.
And then after it arrived, I realized I don't own a single goddamn computer with a CD drive anymore.
With a drive. Yeah, dude. Yep. You know what's funny? Actually, I've bought from like University Surplus place. I bought cases just to build other things out of, and the drive that's the one drive that they actually leave in still. CD or DVD drives. So I actually have like 4 of them just sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, but it's like I don't even. This case isn't even made to put one in a bin. They're like it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Another sign: physical media totally dead. And so much so that I don't even have. I had to go onto Amazon for delivery tomorrow. A portable USB CD DVD drive to be able to plug into my full goddamn size computer. Who's saving money now? Bobcat, side of pool. I rest my case.
But now, like I'm assuming it's Blu-ray capable.
No, I'm not spending. Trent, I won't spend. I'm only willing to spend 50 cents on the dollar for a software that potentially, if I use wrong, I'll go to jail. You really think I'm going to spring the extra $40 to get Blu-ray?
Well, so the next question is, can you use this software next year, Will? That's the question. Is it or is it?
No. Why do you think we get to write it off? Right? No, you can't. You don't. That's it, man. It's this year, one and done. It's a turn and burn.
It will actually like self-destruct, Mission Impossible style, and burn up inside the drive.
But now, when I do this Fool's Folly next year, I'll have the drive. So now I've just turned the $20 I've spent into $10 per year. Right?
Yes.
5 years into this madness. Never mind. Country will be gone to hell anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
we won't even have taxes at that point.
No, I just our tribute to the Lord.
Exactly.
The king.
Well, yeah, as long as you've paid your tribute, and otherwise it's indentured servitude. So your choice.
Exactly. Oh, I see. What caffeinated beverage are we going with tonight, Trent?
Tonight we're going with the standard Italian dark roast with cocoa nibs ground up in the grinds.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah, it's great because it still gives you like a sweet, but it's a bittersweet taste, which matches well with the coffee. You know what I mean? Like you don't like sometimes you like get a coffee and it's and macchiato or something that's like super sweet and it pulls all the coffee out of it. You're just tasting
Yeah.
sweet. This still gives you sweet, but like still like good strong coffee.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I thought I was extra with coffee. You're making me feel better now, with my whole array of syrups and salt. I mean, look, you've gone overboard if you have syrups and sauces, Trent. Syrups and sauces.
Sauces.
Yeah.
Coffee?
Yeah.
I've
Look,
never heard
man.
of what's
Look,
that? I don't know what that
Trent,
is. I don't know
I've
what that is.
told you, okay?
Sauce?
Bobcat, side of the pool. I'll be goddamned if I'm paying Big Coffee money for their fancy peppermint mocha drink during the holidays. No.
Sauce like it's like Sopranos gravy?
No, like Hershey syrup.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I was so busy and focused on my bit, I didn't even know what you were talking about for a moment there. I apologize. Anyway, I thought, it's glad to hear I'm not the only one that's extra about it. You're extra though, when you're spending, I don't know, probably like, I'm just going to guesstimate and say like somewhere around $18 or $27 a bag. And it's not even a full pound. It's 12 ounces. That's when, that's when you have a coffee problem.
Yeah, I see, and I
now
buy by the pound.
And now you know why I need to save money on software.
Yeah, I
have showed my hand, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I found a coffee that's pretty good, and it's nice and oily. That's I want a bean that's still got the oil on it that hasn't been just left to dry out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I found one, and they sell it in a 5-pound bag, and it's just on the regular rotation every month. One comes in,
and that's perfect. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's good for you, Trent, and I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Okay. I too have been on that journey. I have been there, my brother. I have been there with you. I have walked in your steps, and I will tell you, turn back now. Another step further.
Yep.
Set up camp.
Yep.
Raise a village.
Yeah, I mean, I love going and visiting my boss because in his building, in their kitchen room, whatever it's called, lunchroom, they actually have like a Breville espresso maker.
Yes, yeah, that sounds familiar. There's one of my probably not the same one, but I
Right. So yeah,
all I'm saying is that yeah, I just spend too much on coffee, probably too. So I don't know why I'm nickel and diming so many things, but now I do because it's to pay for my coffee addiction. But I don't mean to sound like a snob. Tech program, by the way. But when it comes to coffee now, like the beans that I get and the coffee that I'm able to make, or the espresso I'm able to make, I feel a level of guilt if I'm adding anything other than just milk or cream or, just something to change the texture. I feel guilty adding flavor because God damn, it tastes good. Like I will cut a shot out of that Breville that would make your chocolate nibs cry.
Yeah, you see, and that's like if why I don't mind if I'm at like a Starbucks getting like a caramel macchiato or something, because to me it's not coffee. That's not coffee. That's
the greatest con the devil ever did, Trent, was convince people that Chipotle is healthy at 1,200 calories a burrito, but also,
right.
Also, the greatest lie the devil ever told was to make people think Starbucks was anything other than a fast food chain.
Oh, and that's exactly what it is. And just to talk to one of the employees, and they'll tell you.
Dude, it is such a fast food chain that now they have upgraded machines where they're literally just touching, not titching, don't titch things, touching a tiny little screen that comes off. It almost looks like a sous vide or a immersion blender, but with a screen on the end going into the big machine, and they just dial in the drink that they need. They're not even pressing a button. They're not even pressing a button to get like beans and
just,
grinds anymore, and they're not tamping anything
out of the tube or whatever, and it's just, there you go.
It's severely mechanized now. I mean, but you know, that's how you get consistency, I guess. There's still the human element that they're somehow able to screw up. But yeah, being able to make these things at home are great, but you really feel that guilt when you have the ability to make them home and you don't.
Yep.
That's what sucks.
Yes.
But yeah, Starbucks fast food. Let's not get me started. My beverage I'm sipping on is my go-to now. It's just a good old-fashioned Coke Zero. I don't know what it is about it. I like it, Trent.
Dude, I don't care if aspartame's going to kill me or not. I like it.
You know what, Trent? You could tell me that the aspartame is eating holes in my brain.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And all I'm hearing is less brain effort. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. All I'm hearing is, can I get that in a 48 ounce instead of a 44 ounce? Is that possible?
You know, the weird thing about the Coke Zero, though, Trent, the thing that bothers me about it, again, tech program, the thing that bothers me about the Coke Zero is that I guess in theory it's the original formula, but it's sweetened with aspartame. Is that it? Right. Unlike Diet Coke, which is a different formula.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Okay. So the thing that I find weird about it is that it does truly not taste like Diet Coke. Still has that bitter aftertaste, but
sure.
But still it kind of hits that, even in this mix, it hits that salty and sweet kind of mix that Coke does.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
It still does that. I don't know how it does it. It's amazing. Now, what's your preferred soda? Like you know, all things. Sugar doesn't matter. High fructose corn syrup extends life. What's your go-to?
Yep. Diet Pepsi. Oh, or Diet Sunkist, because it has more caffeine in it than Mountain Dew. People don't know that.
What in the name of the sweet baby Jesus? You're telling me I can get the sweet orange flavor and hyped up like a hyper monkey?
Yes, and they're so good, so good. Like it is a delicious treat of soda, and it takes you back to your childhood at the same time.
Oh yeah, you know, one time I accidentally used my kid's toothpaste, the bubblegum flavored one. You want to feel young? Start getting bubblegum flavored toothpaste again. That'll take you back.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
Especially when the synapses aren't really firing all too well in the morning.
Right, yes.
Yeah, I get that. I know my wife used to be a Pepsi person until...
And I'm big Pepsi too, but yeah. Diet Sunkist is kind of, it's got a sweet spot.
The thing for me on it, really, the biggest problem I have with it is that it is like where Coke kind of got a balance between salty and savory or something, I don't know, the umami. Yeah. The food terms, I don't know, man. Okay,
right.
Look.
Right.
I don't know them. Pepsi went all in on the sweet portion. They were like, we're gonna make the product that you remember the soda jerks putting too much syrup into. That's what we're gonna be for you.
Okay.
So in other words, I equated even more of a candy bar in a can.
Sure. Yeah. It's what's the term? I can't remember. But yes, you're right. It's
adolescent.
Yeah, I would even say just like candy aisle. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely.
And there's a reason that they're usually right next to each other in the grocery store. Like one aisle apart, the candy and the soda.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Now I have to. Oh wait, you're right.
I think I think a lot about placement of aisles and stuff in grocery stores all the time.
And notice like the things that you absolutely positively have to go there for. So in other words, you're not feeling well, you need to get some cold medicine, you got to get your Dayquil, you got to get whatever you want. It is central in the store. It's in the middle to make sure that you have to go buy every other possible impulse thing.
Yeah, well, and now more nowadays, that stuff's usually just in sight where someone has eyes on it, so it can't be lifted. But
that too.
There is, outside of a C store, there is no food establishment that doesn't sell milk that further than the very back.
Because
And
that's how they get us
and
all the way in.
partly that's also because that's where the where they have space for a walk-in cooler where they can feed it from behind. But also because that's you have to walk through the entire store into the back corner to get it.
Tech program.
Oh yeah.
So Trent, speaking of tech, actually, I thought you might find this interesting because one of the things, the constants that you will have seen over the decades now that NetHeads has run, we're in a second decade. I can get away with saying that, right?
Yeah. It's 2 decades long.
The decades that we've been doing this program, I can throw an S on the end of
But
decade.
there's an S,
That's
it's
the whole
plural.
point.
There's more than one.
Yes.
We don't have to complete the full decade for it to be a second decade.
And trust me, we won't. But in all the time we've done that, there's been one constant. Now I have vacillated like the wind. I think in the time that you and I have been podcasting together, I have been numerous times over both iPhone and Android. But you, sir, as a constant,
Always.
you prefer robots to fruit.
Droid.
So you might find this interesting. In order to comply with laws in the EU and the like that are being implemented, and this is only available in the EU, can't get it here in America. Apple is going to acquiesce, and they are going to do things like they are going to support side loading and alternative app stores.
Really?
Yes, and strictly to comply with law and regionally restricted.
And a lot of that is all through the EU's stuff that came through last year, along with the compliance for USB-C as well.
Well, that's
yeah.
I think we've already seen that even here in the U.S. I think the
Yes.
next
But
generation
the US
of iPhone.
Yeah, but the U.S. hasn't like legislated, like where the EU was like, these products want to be sold in our countries. This is the line you got to toe for standards.
Yes, you must. So anyway, I thought that was interesting because now I can only imagine like the amount of either jailbreaking or hacking stories we're going to start getting out of that part of the world in regards to side-loaded apps and people going to, they want to be alternative, they want to be different. And guess what? That's not really the Bank of London app that you're loading.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh shit. Good. Yeah. But you will like, for me, the first thing I look at as an app is who's the publisher.
Yes. We do. We think of the right things. We think of the smart things, but we know better.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My mom's not gonna download something that looks like Adobe Photoshop that's coming from something that's not called Adobe. Like she would just
Speaking of which, Trent, I think we've discussed on the program many times. A lot of the things that I do post work, all my audio editing, video editing, graphics work, and the like, I'm deeply embedded inside the Adobe Creative Cloud infrastructure.
right.
Okay. And as such, if you're a person that is using these programs, like I edit in Adobe Premiere Pro, Photoshop, let's see now, I'm big, heavy user of Adobe Audition. Obviously, I bleed Adobe. And I had the weirdest thing happen. Now, first of all, I have to preface this by saying that they have enticed me and lured me into also loading the beta versions of the programs right now.
Yes. Yeah. Same.
Which have a lot of AI functionality in them. And I will admit that recently I didn't use it. No, I did. I even used it within Adobe Premiere. They even have some AI restorative filtering that works now. Like you can use the enhanced audio area, and you can literally say, my filter is I need it to be podcast voice, and I need you to enhance this so it sounds more like they're talking into a microphone instead of an echoing room.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Okay. And I actually use it, and it's amazing. But my gosh, I admit when I make mistakes, Trent, and sometimes I've learned a lesson now. If you're going to provision equipment for anybody else, you make sure you've had it and you can play with it and experiment with it before you put it in somebody else's playhouse, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to increase the cost of business because you're going to have to send one unit here, you'll have to go there, and you got to trust it going there. But I've learned a lesson because I had this big ordeal that I was actually able to solve with Vimeo of all things. Because I recently set up 4K cameras into somebody's studio, rhymes with Schmevin Schmith, okay? And
Right.
and amazing cameras, great picture work, does exactly what we want, right? But now, let's just say that creature of habit, people will want to use that which they're familiar with. And let me also say that when you're transferring 4K HD files,
Yep.
FTP doesn't know what the hell to do with these long, sustained transfers because at their core, it's an older technology and it's got certain timeouts that it's expecting, that kind of thing. What I'm
Right.
saying is it took me forever to get the second set of files because they went like an hour and 15 minutes long. And we were able to solve it with Vimeo. So,
Oh God, I
they,
love Vimeo.
they got files got uploaded, and they may have processed, but I
Hey.
can also bring the originals back down.
But why aren't you using Frame.io?
Why aren't I using what?
Frame.io. It's
have
part
no-
of the Adobe Suite.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, dude, it is Frame.io is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I have no it is freakishly fast how quickly they can upload, process, and be playing live whatever you've uploaded video wise. It is, in fact, during COVID, that's when they just exploded huge. They partnered with Conan during COVID to show how they were creating the show through Frame.io, the whole thing with everyone working at home and still being able to sync up their Premiere files and work all the same and then upload. Dude, look into it. That solves your problem. Boom. And it's part of there's free versions. I know you have to pay more. It's not necessarily part of the Creative Suite, but Adobe bought out Frame.io right before COVID started.
Oh, wow. No. Well, I can tell you why, because once again, as I said, creatures of habit, people will want to do that what they're familiar with. And
Right.
not everyone is necessarily
Right.
going to jump into something. Let me just put it that way.
Exactly. And honestly, if you know how to open a file like a regular folder, FTP is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And thankfully we found this workaround. The whole reason why I'm going into this great detail that I don't need to is because I'm trying to set up the fact that I'm working with very large files. I've had a few days of frustration. Last night I got everything synced up again. It is amazing this shit can do now, all right? It used to be that you would have to take, let's say you're doing nonlinear editing. So you're doing digital editing within the computer of a video, but it's a multi-camera shoot. Actually, right. Trent, you're very familiar with this.
I'm extremely familiar with it, yeah.
Well, now the thing is, you used to somebody make a loud clap, let me fire off a flash, something to visually be able to align and try and hone in and sync all of these video tracks.
Yeah.
All of that gone. All of that headache gone, Trent. Here is what I did. And believe it or not, Trent, I used the principle of a syllogism.
Okay.
Are you familiar with what a syllogism is?
God, I swear we've talked about it before, but I'm drawing a blank on what that means right now.
If you have a three-part statement, simply put, if A equals C and B equals C, then A equals B. Okay? Okay, because they mean the same thing. And that's literally what I did to be able to just press a button and have everything get synced for me. I'm not completely trusting of the audio tools within Adobe Premiere yet. I still want to be able to throw my patented, well, it's not patented, but my own personal methodology I've developed over time in order to, Zach in the chat is telling us it's the transitive property. Thank you, Zach.
There you go.
So I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, I was able to do this by simply taking, instead of having to sync anything up, I took one camera angle, which, mind you, each camera is just its audio too. So I've got isolated audio, finally, out of Kevin Smith's studio. So I've got one track that is just him. It's his camera, his microphone.
Right.
Then I've got his daughter's camera and her microphone, so her audio. Now, these two don't go together. Even though Adobe Premiere has the ability to sync on audio, it doesn't have an ability to match it up. And like I said, I like to edit things myself still and do the things that I've done, my signature processing methods for correcting audio, okay?
So the video track is not embedded into the audio track, correct?
Well, no, they're all together in a .mov file. But
Oh,
what I do is I take both of those into Adobe Audition. And I do still have to go through the painstaking effort in a multi-track edit to sync up just the audio. But once I've got them lined up, they're locked. I create a mixdown file that has both of them. So I tell it to start a multi-channel edit for me. So sync these up, a multicam edit. And it will then match A, because I'll include camera A, camera B, and I'll include my mixdown track. And so A syncs up to C, then B syncs up to C, and sure as hell, A is synced up to B. Are you with me? My middle track has both of their audio mixed in. So it's synchronizing against the audio file for Kevin's video, and then Harley's video synchronizes against the audio file, and it all just falls together. I press a button and it's all synced up.
So it's one video file with 6 tracks.
Not the final product, not where I'm editing, but
No, but like when you're bringing it back into Premiere, it's
yeah.
one
I mean, technically
file
speaking, because each one is a stereo track, so this one has. But yeah, and it all matches up. Now, here's the great thing. I also learned about this multi-camera edit tool. If you use this type of synchronization I've done, and let's say you just have an A-B shoot, or let's say you have an A-B-C shoot. Like, hell, you could have 4 angles, Trent. I don't care.
Yeah.
You end up getting a preview with all 4 angles. You get the program with the main. And while it's playing, you can go through all the content and just do a rough edit, feeling like you're in control of a live TV control room. Because like, oh, this person's about to speak, cut to camera 2. Camera 1, it captures all those edits. So then you just go back on your second pass and you refine those. I'm amazed at how fast I was able to edit a multi-camera shoot.
Yeah, that's just the multicam. Yeah, because then you take it out of the multicam, put it into a sequence, and then you can do the multi-view, and then you can program your buttons for which one you want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you're doing.
It's amazing we can do these things now. The other thing that I thought was cool for people that do social media, this is available now in the main feature set. You have to look up how to do it, but like you can literally set up for your video edit an overlay to match the social media platform you're going to be streaming or you're going to put your content on. So that way you know not to have important parts of your picture behind their profile, their forward, their like, their comment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing the things that they're able to do. You know, granted, it's not free like CapCut or whatever, but
it's CapCut.
It's a free mobile editor, I think. Probably made by the same people that make TikTok. I don't know. Look, man, I'm not here to talk that crap, okay? It's not what I'm here for today, Trent.
Yeah. Of course not.
Absolutely. Actually, you know, one of the things I am here for, since we're roughly around the halfway mark, Trent, one of the things I am definitely here for is the fact that one of the things I've dedicated now to every one of our shows, I am going to thank one of our Patreon supporters every single program.
That's a great way to throw it back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's like, hey, you put in the effort, you put in the time, you did your thing. I'm going to thank you as
Ahoy
well.
there, landlubbers. It's me, Kevin.
So I just want to take the time during this podcast to thank Brian Pohl for joining the NetHeads Patreon, for becoming a member of our audience, as they like to call it. Thank you very much for your time and your investment in us. And I want to tell everybody, I finally figured out the simple way to do this, which is to pay somebody else to do it. I posted about it on our Patreon. I think it's public view for everybody. Let me tell you something, my friend. I could have never smelt something so sweet.
Boom!
Look at that. That is the official NetHeads challenge coin.
I'm just impressed at your autofocus.
Yeah, that pulled in nice and tight. Now, mind you,
nice.
let's not forget, A couple years ago, we started with this,
Right. Yeah.
which is basically a poker chip. And you're like, oh, but wait a minute, what about the back wheel?
Whoop.
Look at that. The molded Trent and Will in their cyber love. So that's where we started. This is where we are. It's about the size of a 50-cent piece, and we have so many of them. As so far, every single member of the NetHeads Patreon is going to get one of these. So that way you can flash this antiquated membership symbol to others of your kind. And as I put it, let them know that you're a fruit who really knows where his towel is, my friend. You carry this totem, this talisman of your membership.
Talisman. In my mind, I didn't hear talisman. I heard where the towel is, my man. And I was
no.
On the rack? Like, I don't put it on the floor like an
That's
asshole.
a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. He's a cool fruit who really knows where his towel is. Because, hitchhikers hitchhikers of the galaxy always have their towel. Very important to know that.
Yeah, it's the most important thing to bring with you. And
yes, exactly. Especially if you can't, you don't have a pair of Jujanta Peril-sensitive glasses. Now, listen.
Exactly.
If you're a member of the NetHeads Patreon, I think I made the post public. If you're not, you could look at it and you could see it there. But essentially, it's just like it's a limited time thing. Like, I think what I figured out is that you get it within the first month of being the, not One Lover, but the Bobcat driver or above. You instantly get it. And if you are a One Lover, then like after 3 months or something, you get it. Don't listen to me here. Read the article. I figured it out. So everyone is going to get one. And as I mentioned, I think the first batch are going to be able to go out this weekend. I was not home last weekend. It was a dance competition.
Dance.
They came in once again right before stuff was happening. So that's why not something I've been able to do this last week, but I'm excited to send those out because basically everybody that's pre-existing already qualifies. So can't wait to send those bad boys out, and thank you very much for that. Also, if you want to help support the program, in the show links, we talk about the Henson Shaver. If you are not like this dapper devil right here and have little to no need of a straight razor, if you're more like this canvas of flesh, if you will, and you want to find yourself an excellent way to shave and also kind of buy into that whole economic approach, not to mention take life back, make it more simple. If you get the Henson Shaver, it's a completely engineered, I believe, aluminum straight razor that gets excellent tension on the blade to avoid the nicks and cuts. And let me tell you something, if you really want to pamper yourself, I should put up some affiliate links for the things I got, because I got, like, I can't remember what Aminal is. Aminal? I just said Aminal. God damn it. I can't remember what type of hair brush it is, but for applying the soap as a shaving cream and getting yourself the puck. Now, there's also a bowl you want to get, which, Trent, I don't know why all bowls don't have this, okay? It expressly has a nub on the side because they're working with soap and water.
Right.
And this nub on the side is called the handle, but it's that way because it's not a glossed piece of the ceramic. It's just the ceramic rough side.
Right.
So you got friction and you're holding it the whole time. Now, let me tell you something. I know that you're extremely mindful of the moment when you're folding your laundry, Trent.
It is, dude, that is my Zen garden.
If you want to fall into the deepest of Zen, well, not you. Look at you.
Obviously.
Not you. But... well, that's not true. Like, let's say you just wanted to like be like clean on top and just go with the beard, okay?
Yeah. Which
That could
I'm
happen.
basically like I'm at a 1 or like a 1.5 right now on top all the time, so I'm almost there.
You're almost there. So listen, it applies. It applies. You get yourself this nice bowl. You will fall into Zen oblivion when you are just taking the time to first get the soap on the brush, your puck's in that separate cup, and then you come to this bowl. And like when you start making the loose soap bubbles into that tight whipped cream like stuff.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then you are getting, I got to get hydrated now because I'm starting to get the cough.
But and you're using a boar's hair bristle brush to
there you go.
Lather going, right?
And then the lather is done in this separate bowl. With people online will tell you, just go to the Goodwill, get yourself a salsa bowl. Not the same thing.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Not the same thing. And it first of all, the experience of putting the lather on is great. And then shockingly, I don't know how Big Razor has convinced us that more blades are better. You know, and here's the best part.
Yep.
When you're using these blades, I don't even know how much they are, but it is nothing. Like I use a brand new single razor, a razor blade. You've heard of it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I use a brand new one every other shave.
Yeah.
I got a box of 100 of them. I haven't even broken a quarter box yet. Okay.
Yep.
And I think the whole thing maybe cost me $10. I'm going to be knee deep in razors for a while, my friend.
You're set,
The
dude.
whole point is it's a great way to shave. I highly encourage it. I don't know if it's any better on the environment, but I'll tell you what, I am continuously amazed and happy with the results. In the show link, there is the link for the Henson shaver. You do that, we get a few shekels, but really I highly encourage it. Also, Trent, something I shouldn't talk about yet because they haven't even done their thing yet. And I'm almost embarrassed to bring this up.
Okay.
But I have had a revolution in my life. A revelation.
I mean, they're adjacent. Nigh onto a eureka moment.
Yes. Well, I don't want to think of this as a eureka. Look, one of the many things I do is I also sell advertising on podcasts. I sell available space, realty. I am a traffic coordinator, my friend.
Yeah, we've got this many slots for this long, so we got to get fill that with such and such. I'm reaching out to so and so because their brand aligns with the content that we're already putting out for free to people.
Are you gunning for my job?
I'm just saying, I get it, man. It's an art.
Okay, and sometimes your boy gets a little gravy from it. Okay, again, the phrasing is really poor here. So the long and short of it is, we just signed Tushy. Okay, and these are the add-on bidet people.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Trent, I have been a filthy pig my entire life until now.
You have. Yes, you have. And dude, easiest, like this is it doesn't necessarily have to be Tushy. It is because they're an affiliate with Associated Podcasts, so good on them.
Yeah, you know, and you go to hellotushy.com/fatman to get some type of discount. You'll hear Kevin Smith talk about it, but
if I were like a home goods convention or something selling a bidet, it'd be so easy. Someone walks by and just like wipe some peanut butter on them, and then just hand them a roll of toilet paper and say sorry.
Yeah, now use that to get that off your arm.
Yeah, go ahead and get that off your arm, bud.
Yeah, and then
just have like a bidet spray right here. Be like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Here, let's wash that off of you. Let's get you clean.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm just going to say that I am amazed. Now, mind you, longtime listener and audience member Miranda Janelle has been an advocate of also let's just call it the personal sprayer. It's a really cheap, inexpensive hack you can do where you basically take the vegetable, don't take the vegetable sprayer from your sink.
But it's not unlike the sprayer on your sink. If you have the secondary sprayer, not the one that's the actual faucet that you hit the thing up on top, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can add that into the side of the bowl, a little hanger there. So an advocate of that. And my first thought, Trent, was like, but isn't that water going to be cold? Okay?
Huh?
Which was also my first thought. Interestingly enough, no. It's not too cold. Dare I say it's refreshing.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you what, Will, you want to wake up in the morning, it's a good way to wake up. And I'm not saying like a bad way, but I mean like that'll wake you up in like a deep breath kind of way, you know?
Yeah, kind of, a little bit. I've never felt cleaner. Anyway, Trent, Michelle Kuzo also in the chat brings up a very good point. If you are hearing this, seeing this, or what have you, make sure, and you are one of our audience members on Patreon, please go in and make sure that we have your current address, because we want to make sure your challenge coin gets to you nice and clean.
Speaking of Michelle,
nice and clean. Did you hear what I said? Anyway.
It's Freudian slip there. Happy birthday to her little puppers, Charles. It's his second birthday today.
Yeah, it is. I saw that on the grams, if you will.
I mean, come on. He's a cute little burner, is what he is.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. I knew that was coming
Burner.
out.
Cute little burner.
It's that tricolor face, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's the eyebrows, man. Any dog that has like color differentiation over eyebrows, we anthropomorphize just emotion onto them like no other.
Yeah, definitely. What else were we going to talk about tonight, Trent? I know one thing I wanted to say is I wanted to congratulate you. Today is the first full moon of the year. It'll be visible all day through tomorrow for those of us here in North America. It is, interestingly enough, I don't know if you know this, Trent, it's called the wolf moon.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so the first full moon of the year known as the wolf moon. Very
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Trent, last week we gave you homework. Didn't mean to give you homework, but we
it
got
happened.
into an interesting brand discussion because I told you how people were going crazy for these Stanley Cups, right?
Yeah.
And the question was, has it made it to Utah yet?
Yeah. So,
What happened? Did you go out in the world?
did not see them at any retailing spots. I
Okay.
saw where they were available. Like there was a spot for them on the shelf, but they weren't there. They were sold out.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I also saw, again, I don't know if this is once you're aware of something, you then see it, or if it just happened at the same time. I saw a few people making comments and posts about it in their Instagram stories last
That's
week.
because your phone is listening to us, Trent.
Oh, you're probably
It's
right.
that simple.
No, but they were Utahns that I know, like IRL.
Oh,
Yeah. So it has reached Utah already.
okay. Which I'm not really surprised about. Of anybody that I would have thought in the greater Utah area that would like stumble into this, whether they meant to or not, it would be you because you're aligned in academia. You're on a campus.
Yeah.
So naturally, if any trend is going to be detected and transferred over, it's going to occur on a campus.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. And let's be honest, it's if you are there is a certain amount of privilege on a university campus, be it through the means to be there or through government assistance to be there. There is some sort of privileged socioeconomic status that will probably afford you to buy into that trend.
Yeah, there you go. See, look at that. But at least you did. You were aware of the fact. Oh yeah, they are out there, and apparently they are a thing, and they should be here and aren't. So apparently, the demand is high, even in the Utahs.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, who knows if they, how many were sitting on the shelf before someone went and bought them, but
Yeah. Well, if you don't have also if demand isn't high, but you have a supply. Eventually, that would get drained and look like it was out too. And why rush to replenish, right?
exactly.
That's what that's what I tell the kids all the time. Trent, one of the other things too that I wanted to share because I thought it was interesting, because it was really an interesting experience for me. Mind you, again, I don't want to say I'm a shut-in because I do go out.
Yeah.
However, I don't go out a lot. But from January to July, I am forced to go out because I have a daughter who is involved in dance.
Dance. You got to say dance with jazz hands. Dance. Say, come on, Will, try it. Dance.
Dance. I don't feel any better about this. So,
No.
so this past weekend was not only the first competition of the weekend, but it was also a convention. Now, the difference is that there's more that's organized. It's over multiple days, and kids will be both attending, or they'll be performing in dance competitions, but they'll also be attending courses, if you will, dance classes.
Yep, seminars, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Think of a boring insurance convention, but with dance.
Yes, there we go. Yes. Okay. Yeah, one more time, and it will be funny because of the rules of three in comedy, folks.
Exactly. So, it just so happens, I don't know if you remember last year. Actually, you may not. But we were at I think it's the Hyatt, that is right by Levi Stadium.
Yeah.
Last weekend, it was a playoff weekend. Last year, it was a playoff weekend. I don't remember who the Niners were playing. Were they playing the Ravens? No, I don't remember. I forget these things so fast.
I don't know.
But the hotel is like en route to the stadium. So they even told us, traffic will be impacted. The only good news is this wasn't us trying to leave. This was the night we were staying over anyway. So we were going to be, we just had to worry about drunken rowdy idiots if the Niners won.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it just so happens when we booked, I ended up getting a stadium view room because that was all that was left. Actually, we were on the top floor in the corner. So I really only had one shared wall that I had to care about sound coming through. Never heard our neighbors, but I'll tell you what I did hear.
Really?
Nope, didn't. I didn't ever hear anybody else on the floor unless I was walking in the halls.
That's impressive. Well, it's a Hyatt though. I mean,
yeah. What I did, you know what? Don't get me started. Don't be like, oh, it's a Hyatt, because you know what? It's still got the lowest wattage shared communal microwave over by the ice maker. And I'm trying to microwave it. You got to deal with people in the morning because I'm just trying to warm up my kids' Pop-Tarts, and this woman wants to heat up a breakfast sandwich, and neither one of us wants to be seeing each other. And why is it at every other hotel chain I stay in, they're able to put a microwave in the goddamn room, but the Hyatt of all places, none. Anyway, see, look, you set me off now. I don't even want to talk about the rest of it. Going to anyway. So I had a stadium view room. And that actually meant I was also stadium sound adjacent. So naturally, wanting to be part of this communal experience, I put the game on, and I quickly learned two things. The method that this hotel got its video had a 20-second delay compared to the sound that would come out of the stadium. So first you would hear the stadium, then you would see it on the TV. 20 seconds goes by. At first, it was an interesting novelty. It literally got to the point I did not need to look at the screen to know what happened, because I knew the sound. There was a certain way the crowd sounded where it was kind of like a cheer, but it was a little down, and you knew, the other team did something we don't like.
Yeah.
And then another one was, something good happened, but not yet a touchdown. And then, of course, there was a touchdown or field goal. So you could literally tell each one of them apart, which I thought was a fun novelty.
Yeah, it's like a socioeconomic, like you could do the same thing, right? If you were in another country and next to a soccer stadium or something.
Yeah. Well, it was fun, except there was also a certain point, like I said, this hotel was right on the main road coming from the stadium. So at a certain time, they would block the streets off so that way traffic could just be dedicated to getting out of this town, this city, the area, get out before things go wrong. That's what they were telling the public. So we had tried to order my daughter some ice cream for delivery right before the cutoff. We didn't make it. But that also meant I was down in the lobby at the end of the football game. And you can imagine a hotel lobby. If there's any one thing they have, what is it, Trent?
A
bar with televisions with the big sports game on.
Okay. Oof, I'm like a front desk. I don't know. It's been so long.
Bellhops. Complimentary cucumber water. I wasn't told there would be a quiz.
Yeah.
Zach points out doors. Fair enough.
Yeah, valid point.
So it just so happens I was in the lobby at the end of the game, which it got very tense. Well, because I'm trying to first of all negotiate with a DoorDash driver that cannot get to us. The streets are closed in there, and so I'm dealing with customer service, so I'm half distracted. But also, I'm in home territory, and so I'm kind of caught in the zeitgeist of the game. Is that the right way to put it?
The moment of the game, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm kind of invested in it. And, the Niners it looks like they've lost, and then they end up getting a very, I think they might have gotten a turnover, and so they got an extra, I don't know what the hell. The football things were happening.
Yeah.
But I was in that lobby at the point where the Niners had gotten another touchdown, and I don't know if they kicked on the extra point or not, but the other team they were playing, whose name eludes me, were trying their best, but they're also, not having good odds at this point anyway. And next thing you know, they end up throwing another interception. And just the way that lobby reacted, it was both amazing to see so many people happy about the same thing at once, especially when you consider it seems like the rest of the society is a toilet. Does it have a tushy in it? I don't know, but we'll see.
Should,
I mean, it almost
should.
always does, but neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But it was interesting seeing so many people happy at once. But then there's also a clear division of the type of people that were there and what they were there for. Because although there was this mass of people celebrating the win and completely happy, there was also an entire other segment of the entire lobby that was just pulling out their phones to capture the moment for social media.
To prove that they were part of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, live in the moment, people,
Yeah.
right? Or am I coming off as the...
Nope.
Look, I already know I'm coming off
you.
as the old guy, but...
I'm so with you on this, though.
Yeah, I'm the one that's telling you it was the Green Bay Packers. Oh, yeah, go Pack. Sorry. Forgot about it. My friend is convinced I'm the curse because I was actually watching the game, and that's why the Packers lost.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a great experience, but I'm also the guy who's pushing using straight razors and getting back to vinyl, and so you got to take everything I say with a grain of salt, right?
In the plaid faux flannel shirt bearded hipster guy over on this end, I know what you're talking about.
Amen, brother. Amen. Hey Trent, did you have anything that you wanted to push or tell the people about? Things to keep our eyes open for? What's the things you've caught in the wind?
Gosh, I've just
hopefully not your own. How's the weather been, man? Because it's been wet here, so I'm guessing you've had a lot of frozen beard days.
Which is so weird. It's been like super, super warm. It dumped, I want to say we got 30 some odd inches in 3 days of snow. And then it melted and the streets were just flooding. And now it's like rain, sludge, snowing right now.
Oh, okay. Well, but
then it was cold. And then in between that, it was super, super, super cold. So.
Okay. Well, as long as there's no, seen a lot of video of the people trying to navigate the black ice and the frozen concrete and not having good luck of it. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that kind of thing because I am a weak male and the weather would quickly overcome me. It's obviously just been wet here. It's just been rainy. No big deal. I'm okay with it. But it's just I know you're a tougher guy than I am because you live where snow happens.
Yeah, but I still bitch about it every single time it snows. I'm like, and honestly, a student of mine, we were talking about this the other day on a shoot, and I think it comes down, like, the real thing that pisses me off the most about the snow is getting it in my shoes.
Oh, God, yeah. Because not only, because first it's bitter, and you may have had a good, nice, warm sweat going on in there, you know what I mean?
It's just, and then your socks are wet. And then you go wherever you're going into, you're now dealing with wet socks, and that's the worst thing ever. And just by the time when they get dried, you go back out into the parking lot, and it happens. It's the worst. It's the worst.
I'm so glad I could bring it up. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Glad I could help. It's what I do. Sometimes, mostly not. Anyway, thank you very much, one and all, for dropping in with us on this wonderful live program we've put out for you today. Like I said, if you're interested in being one of the people that gets to carry the challenge coin, great. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Also, if you happen to be catching this and you're wondering what the hell's going on, check out our YouTube channel, please, and throw us a like and subscribe if you like. One of the things, I have a very unrealistic goal, and I know it's unrealistic because I had it last year, Trent, and not a lot of traction, but what I would really love to do, and I'm not clout chasing here, okay? I'm just saying one of the things that I would just like for us, something to say that we did, something that says, you know what, no matter what, at least we had this to show for it. Because, right now we have our wonderful audience. When we do this, we get the fun of talking to one another. We get all that. But in the end, it's just a bunch of digital files. The wrong computer goes out, and our existence wasn't for naught.
Yeah.
Or at least everything we did for this. You know, well, yeah, you got a mower. Look, you got a push mower. There's a physical
Yeah, I'm
thing
all
there.
about it. I'm all about the real mower.
I'm buying silly coins. You know, look, maybe the whole point is I want us to get, and I'm going to see if you know what this is. I would love for the NetHeads on Air channel to get the YouTube play button.
Oh, right?
Okay, now let me tell you guys why that's not possible. First of all,
Right.
the very first video show we did on YouTube was actually many years ago, because the first episode was number 194 that we did the video show for. And I only know this because for some reason, maybe it was the one before that, 193, but it was definitely around 194 because I literally shot the video for it in the back of a comedy club because I was running Kevin Smith around and stuff.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh? I actually remember that.
And that was episode 194. Once again, Trent, what's the episode number this time?
Episode 364.
So, given that, you know, we've come a long way and we're still under 4,000 followers. So, and to get the play button, how many do you need?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. And is it an actual subscriber? Or is it over a new subscribers over an amount of time?
100,000, Trent. 100,000.
That's
so
not
you,
bad.
yeah, and I would love for that to happen, but if it doesn't, so be it. I'm okay with that. But still, it's one of the, if there's any shocking thing that would be good to come out of 2024, it would be that. So spread the word, ask your friends. Look, I don't even care if you interact with it. If we could just get to that point and I could hang it up behind me, I
Dude,
would love for that to happen.
That would be, and I hope this offends no one, the tits.
You know what? Who doesn't like them? That's what I got.
Everyone, some gay men, I guess, but hey, it's their prerogative.
Exactly. So, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. That's my little dream. Please remember to hydrate, okay? And don't forget, too, even if you aren't a part of the Patreon audience, you can still also just follow us there as well. So please feel free. That way you at least get notices when this kind of thing happens. If you didn't come across us on other social medias, if you will, because you know what, Trent? Crazy as it sounds, I even posted a thread about tonight.
Oh, good for you. I've yet to buy in to the threads because it sounds like Twitter. I just kind of stopped using Twitter, so I'm like, I don't miss it anymore. But good on you. Maybe I'll give it a try now.
I'm still looking. I mean, and I'm hoping it's it, but I keep forgetting that Threads exists. But you know, I'm still looking for that early or mid Twitter experience where, you know, it was a great way to kind of tap into zeitgeist. Like if you were all the stupid things, you're watching a sports ball or an award show and you're on that right social media thing.
Yeah, you find that right hashtag that is just like, honestly, there like that short amount of time was the perfect way to find a tribe. And sadly it's gone. I don't know if it'll ever be that universal again. Do you know what I mean? The Arab Spring couldn't happen now. Because of it filtering algorithms and trying out other things. It couldn't happen.
Nope. We're in a time beyond the good. We are in the never was now. We are but memories of the never been. In my wow, that was a very real statement I wasn't planning to make today, but whoa.
Yeah, shit just got real, man.
Exactly. Well, because you know, I continuously equate myself to the Ed Wood of internet broadcasting. That's what I am. The next thing is always going to be the greatest thing. It's going to be a wonderful thing, and we're just going to keep on going until they won't let me anymore, Trent.
Yep.
So thank you guys. Until next time. You know what? We didn't even plug Twitter. We didn't even go in. We just went into the intro and started talking.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a dead medium, and and thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Elon.
When I was installing said cameras that I mentioned way back at the beginning of the program, one of the things that came up, because I had been dying to get the opinion of somebody that also was heavily ingrained in that medium, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that would be Kevin Smith. So I literally asked him, I'm like, what do you think of just the absolute brand killing that happened. I mean, there should be a homicide investigation.
Like
about-
honest, yes. Yep. It's so established too. Like the bird itself, it was ubiquitous. Like
And it made sense. It was quirky, and it sounded friendly and fun. It was a tweet. It was a twort. It was a twizzle, Trent. It was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and again, still to this day, with new products, go into my pantry, I don't see X's on boxes, man. I see little blue birds.
Mm-hmm.
So I said that, like, what do you think? And he's just, I'm not going to speak for him, but his take on it was funny. And I don't know why I'm sharing that story now, because I realize I can't finish it.
Yeah,
But oh
it's
well.
not your story to tell. That's okay.
Well, yeah,
But,
because,
your side of it though. And
wouldn't it be, what if it finally, it took 363 episodes for me to suddenly make the mistake of saying something somebody else said, and that's the thing, just by some random Redditor put a message up that, such and such said this about that per this podcast, and it just so happens to fall into the wrong algorithm, and now...
Yep, this, you know what? The head of Bleeding Cool, Schmebber Schmurf, says this, and this about X.
Yeah, and then that's what it is. Now, then I really, truly just become just a sad, lonely dad in a room with 3D printers and a bunch of robots.
I'm sorry, it's not that funny.
I know,
Kind
man. But I'm living it.
Yep.
That's NetHeads. In a nutshell, that's the only way that we can put it. That's NetHeads.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. Signing off. I know, right? But stop being a little Nancy and deal with it. NetHeads. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
This has been a Smodco Internet production. SIP. Only at smodcast.com. I mean, I thought I was a good person, and and I'm doing good things. I mean, but is this what it's all become? Memory of the never was?
Will, a man once, much wiser than me, once said, it takes a big dog to pee in the tall grass.